This ties right into the playoffs. It has to do with what happened last week. Now, we all know the Los Angeles Lakers were upset by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the opening round. More on that series in a minute or two. However, this ties in. Anthony Edwards made a tweet. Now, usually I don't agree with everything he tweets. He does talk a lot of smack, but he did tweet something that got me on his side a little bit. And he tweeted about how LeBron really doesn't get – some people don't really appreciate him for what he does, for the good he's done. They trash him. They spend more time hating, and to some degree, that's true. Now, before I get into the rant, let's set the record straight. LeBron James is one of those guys who I have my criticisms about him. I'm not a fan of every move he makes. I feel like over the years, gotten a bit exhausted of LeBron being in the spotlight all the time, him being the face in the league, just from him being that face for so long. However, with that being said, some of the hate this man receives, or Kuwood is up, is completely unnecessary. I am on Anthony Edwards' side on that front. And this is my rant right here. To all the LeBron James haters, when I say haters, this is an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to share it with you guys. This guy right here. Now, this guy is Scap Attack. He's a video content creator who trashes LeBron James. Case in point. Look, I'm going to scroll through and show you what I mean. First video. The baby king LeBron already begging for more help. Choke Goat, LeBron story. 1 month ago, how LeBron destroyed the NBA. 4 days ago, LeBron humiliated again when it really matters. A year ago, the last choke, LeBron James documentary event. The Coward's Way, a complete history of the decision that ruined. I'm not even going to click on LeBron James and his vastly overrated finals runs exposed. LeBron rules the rise of clutch sports, steroid allegations, and fate. And just it goes on and on and on. Scapatap again. LeBron James continues to expose himself. LeBron's Mickey Mouse ring, the worst title in NBA history. And it just goes on and on with this guy trashing LeBron James, refusing to give the man credit for anything. Now, there's a difference between having an opinion and just being a narrow-minded hater. These are the type of LeBron haters I can't stand. It's not just him. It's all over the internet. There are memes and pointing out there just trashing the man like he's nothing. And to Arku's credit, LeBron is an all-time great, but sometimes I don't like his attitude, which is a perfectly fair point. Yes, we can still have our criticisms of the guy. We may have our things about him we don't like. We don't like a lot of the head coach turnover that goes on with the different teams LeBron plays for, most notably the Lakers and Cavs. We don't like a lot of the trading that goes on, the trying to form super teams that has continued throughout LeBron's career. Maybe you're not a fan of those aspects, but you still have to give the man credit as an all-time great. What I'm talking about are these people like Scap Attack and all the memes on the internet that constantly compare LeBron to Kobe and Jordan on a repeated basis. If you look all over social media, you'll see it's become the cool thing to make memes comparing LeBron to MJ and Jordan to make them look better. Now, you can feel that you say that Kobe and Michael Jordan respectively had better careers than LeBron James, but it's just the ridiculous overuse of comparing him. The NBA is the only league that is full of drama. I mean, to be fair, other sports have their drama. Now, if you want to say that the NBA is more full of individual drama and is more individual-based than other team sports, absolutely. That's 100% correct in that respect. But if we're talking about drama itself, look, all sports have drama. Football, particularly at the wide receiver position for years, has been full of drama that creates ratings. So it happens in other sports too. And as far as LeBron goes, look, I understand you feel that Kobe and MJ had better careers, but the over usage of these memes, it gets to a point where it becomes a bit silly. People spend more time comparing LeBron to MJ and Kobe than they do giving him credit for the great accomplishments he's had. I've seen more memes trying to call LeBron the fake king and a coward than I have acknowledging his 3-1 comeback against the Warriors acknowledging his 3-1 comeback against the Celtics, acknowledging the time he pretty much carried a scrub Cavs team to an Eastern Conference Finals over the Detroit Pistons back in 2007. I mean, they spend more time trashing the man than they do giving him credit where credit's due. It's just absolutely ridiculous at this point that some people, you don't have to look for drama in the NBA, you will find it. It will find you. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's just, and with LeBron, I understand it, but Jesus Christ, the man is an all-time great player, whether you like him or not. You can say that he's, okay, you can say maybe he's your 6th greatest of all time. Maybe he's your 5th greatest. Maybe you have these players ahead of him. We can have that debate. That's perfectly reasonable. That is fair enough. We can have debates on where LeBron ranks as all-time great players. Who do you rank ahead of him? That's perfectly reasonable, but there's a line between trashing everything he does, calling him the fraud king, poking fun at him for wanting his son Bronny to succeed. Now, maybe you think it's not in the best interest of the Lakers, but you completely understand the man wanting his own son to succeed in the NBA. I do not fault LeBron for that whatsoever. Maybe you don't like the way it played out publicly, but you still got to give the man credit for trying to look out for his kid, even if you're not a fan of the way it went down. But still got to acknowledge him as one of the all-time great players. For the 3 teams he's played for, he's won a championship for all 3 teams. Granted, the Cavs, he had to come back for a second stint, but he still won a championship for them. He still helped the Heat win 2 finals, and he still helped the Lakers win their most recent title. So he's won a championship everywhere he's went. Sure, you may not like the switching of teams, but the bottom line is everywhere he's went, he's made a difference for that team. He's won championships everywhere he went. Even the first run with the Cavs when he didn't win the championship. He got him to a finals in 2007 when the Pistons were the favorites to reach the finals. So you got to give the man credit for being an all-time great. He's a great scorer. Yep, exactly. And to my point, Arku brought up a great point. Yes, a lot of people weren't a fan of the way Bronny got into the league. It felt like he was getting pushed over other more deserving prospects for being LeBron James' kid. And that is certainly true. And I wasn't a fan of it either. At the same time, I do respect LeBron for looking out for his son. I feel it wasn't great. I wasn't a fan of it. But I can still get LeBron's point of view. I understand with the whole Heat thing. I understand why he did it. He was in a situation with the Cavs. He stuck it out for 7-8 years. They didn't really put much of a team around him, so he finally decided to get a fresh start and go to the Miami Heat. But to LeBron's credit, he picked the right team. He fit in well with Pat Riley's system, and they made 4 finals, won 2 out of it. So ultimately, if he was going to switch teams, he made the right call. In hindsight, with Derrick Rose, he would have had about a year or 2 window to win in Chicago had he gone to the Bulls. The Knicks, I don't think he would have been stuck in a similar situation. He was in Cleveland the first time. So ultimately, he made the right call. I still got to give him that. Point is, I can still give credit for LeBron James's accomplishments, even if I'm not a fan of everything that he does. I may have been a bigger fan of Kobe, but I can still respect and give nods to LeBron. Some of these haters that make everything a LeBron versus Kobe or a LeBron versus Jordan comparison, it's too much. It's too much. It gets to the point where you're nothing more than a hater. It's the same ones that wait for LeBron to fail, that have something to say. And that's my issue with it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. He was not ready to jump into the league. When I look at his rookie season with Bronny, he did in the G League with the G League team. He had a few good games there. He had a decent game against the Bucks bench players. So he showed he could at least have a run in the NBA. Not necessarily as a star, but he could at least be in the league as a role player for a little bit. But yep, absolutely. I can name off the top of my head. Like I said, the 3-1 comeback over the Warriors, 2016. Leading the Cavs to the finals in 2007. Even though they got swept by the Spurs, he still led them there. Only in his 4th season in the league. He did help. He did win finals MVP 2012. for his first championship. He helped pull a 3-1 comeback in the 2018 Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics. I mean, he did have a lot of great accomplishments. All-time scorer, there is an asterisk on it, but still at the same time, you got to respect it. To still be able to play even at 40 years old, he still plays good for his age. He's not the same player he was 5 years ago, but he's still a good player even at this stage. And if he were to retire, hey, go out while you're still on top to some degree. I can respect that. So to all the ones that want to just make it the cool thing to bash him, if you're not going to acknowledge the good things he's done, just shut up.